Hello everyone, welcome back to another Throne of Eldraine quick draft on the other new account I made to just grind out dailies so that I can continue playing the actual game, draft mode. My last draft was yesterday for me. It has actually been a day, and I'm still mad about misremembering what Feld the Pheasant does and losing a game that I was going to win if I had read my cards. Okay, what is this? Mirror Maid. Okay, I believe this is actually pretty good. A copy of any artifact or enchantment. So, if you play it on an aura, it doesn't work, right? Because it doesn't attach to anything. Just look that up. MTG aura copy of. I play there's a ruling listed here. If you choose an aura, God, this ruling's from 2005. I hope it's still true. If you choose an aura, you can also choose a legal permanent for copy enchantment. Copy of it to enchant. This is about a specific card. Aura turns a creature into a copy. No. Okay, here's, let's look up the specific card we're looking at. See if there's a gatherer ruling on that. Copies what was printed on the card. Yeah. X is 0. If you copy a copy of something, you copy that copied thing. If it's a token, any enters the battlefield will trigger. If it enters at the same time as another artifact or enchantment somehow, it can't become a copy of it. Sure. If it copies an aura this way, you can choose what the aura will enchant just before it enters the battlefield. You can't choose any permanent cards entering the battlefield at the same time as that aura, which of course would be pretty unusual, but could happen. Like if there was some card that said cast 2 spells at the same time, I guess. But wouldn't they both go on the stack? I don't know. Alright, so Mirror Maid does work on enchantments if you wanted to, and you could point it at something else. So, fine. Mirror Maid seems probably quite good, but what else do we have? Turn into a pumpkin, also good. Well, wait a minute. This just removes it, so it's more about I don't know, at 4 mana, it's not that great for tempo. I see it more as a way to remove enchantments and stuff like that from a thing, or counters. 4 mana is pretty darn expensive for that, but it does draw a card, and the Adamant giving you food is nice. Inspiring Veteran, I believe, is great in red-white. Occam Ranger, we know, is just kind of mediocre. Reeve Soul is good. Run Away Together is kind of... I mean, it can do some cool stuff for sure, but it's situational. And this blue Paladin is also fine, I think. So I believe Mirror Maid is probably best here, but I'm going to go look at my draft guide here. Oh, Mirror Maid is horrible. Really? That's a surprise. Okay, well, Inspiring Veteran, it lists better than any of those things. What about Reeve Soul? I actually think Reeve Soul is a better first pick. I think everything else here is clearly not a good first pick. Well, what about the Paladin? Probably worse, right? Yeah. Okay, So I guess the problem with Mirror Maid is that it often doesn't do anything. It can be amazing, but a lot of the time it's junk. That's a fair point. Okay, so we'll just take Reeve Soul. Any deck likes to have removal. This only commits us to one color rather than like two. Okay. Dance of the Manse. Also, I believe, horrible. Like, let's just look up how bad this is. Yeah, it's bad. There are worse cards, but not many. Into the Story, I think, is kind of fine. It's in like a blue-black deck that is about value. Because if you mill the opponent, then this is like 4 mana, draw 4, which is insane. But like, I don't think it's... Yeah, it's not that good on its own. And I don't really want this other black card, which I believe is pretty bad. I think I should just take like Gingerbrute as like a card that doesn't commit me to any colors because there's nothing here worth committing to. And it's playable, it's a 1-drop. Like, Gingerbrute is not a good first pick, for sure. Actually, maybe, is Henswalker better? It actually does think Henswalker is better. Okay, fair enough. What is this? The Henshammer, double green. Okay, it makes other creatures stronger while attacking. So it seems mostly like just a 2-mana 2/2 that definitely like has a very useful effect. But this guy will tend to die unless you can buff him somehow. And then when you do buff him, of course, he's very like he gets even better. He's double value on your buffs. So what kind of deck would want to play that? Mono green with like Tall as a Beanstalk would be pretty sick. I think green-white has a reasonable number of buffs you could put on this, but I don't think green-black will usually. Venerable Knight is fine, but not really worth adding white for it, I don't think. Memory Theft. I believe Memory Theft is alright. Just look that up. I mean, it's not a card you would be excited to first pick, which makes sense to me. And that's what this list is judging. How is this Henshammer anyway? Oh, it's misspelled in the in the draft guide. It's called the Hedgehammer. All right, I mean it's not a good card, but it's not horrible. The thing is that like when you're already black, Memory Theft, like it would be okay. It counters some cool some adventure-based stuff. And it also kind of works with the possibility of moving into green-blue and like having mill synergies. I think it's better than any of this other stuff. I mean, it's definitely worse as a first pick than, say, Venerable Knight. It's like an actually bad card, but I don't know. If you're already kind of black, I think it's better than adding any of this other stuff. Right? What about like a Gingerbrute would be the other option? Okay. And there you go. More Into the Story if we wanted a black-blue kind of mill thing. Sage of the Falls? Another non-human creature. Non-human is like a green-red thing. It is like 5 mana for draw at least one card, but like you don't get to keep them. It's just filtering, which is great in the late game when you don't want lands anymore. But I think blue makes a little more sense. Right, there's Reaper of Night for a late game thing. Also, you know, we have Memory Theft to discard stuff. I think Reaper of Night is okay. It's not good. It does actually rate Lost Legion as a better first pick, which is fair. And we don't have any small creatures. You can't just like do nothing until turn 7. I guess we have this. Is Sage of the Falls any good? It actually does think that's a better first pick than any of these, but I don't know if it's worth adding blue for. And also, it's pretty heavy. Oh, what about Tome Raider? It's fine. I think we'll get more chances to take Reaper of Night if we want. And last time I had 2 Reapers of Night in my deck, I didn't win any games, so there is that to consider. Let's just take a 3 mana 2/3 that scries, and you know, if we end up getting some knights, that might be nice in like red or white. And if we don't, it's just a creature. That's fine. None of this is much good. We don't have any activators for Malevolent Noble. Youthful Knight, I guess? Take Silverflame Squire. Or this Paladin, but it's just going to be a 4 mana 2/2 flyer most of the time, which is not very good. Whereas this, we might get some night synergies. There's another. Festive Funeral. I think it's pretty good. Ardenvale Paladin is... yeah, it's about as good. Alright, we'll take the Funeral. Eye Collector. It'll help also with the Festive Funeral for what that's worth. And if we end up wanting some reason to mill the opponent, this does it. But more importantly, it's just like a 1-drop. Didn't say please is kind of cute. We're definitely by no means committed to white here. We could say this is enough reason to go blue, but I don't think it is. I think just another Funeral. There's also Forever Young. But I don't have any cards I really want to bring back a lot of times anyway, so just add more removal. True Love's Kiss? Probably, right? Fortifying Provisions on the sideboard. Ugh. Let's take this in case we end up getting some reason to go knights. Or red. I could take a Prophet of the Peak instead of this Paladin that's in red. I think they're both totally reasonable. We're not yet married to white, and there are some cards that are like... that want you to play knights. Jousting something is a land that like is colorless or any color for knights. Well, red, white, black, which is most knights. But this is like, it's just not a very good knight. I'll take Prophet of the Peak. I don't know if I'm going to need it, but I think I'm more likely to take it than that Paladin. Okay, second pack. Show me a black rare. What is this? Ooh, I like that. That is, first of all, against a deck with a lot of... This format has a lot of humans, and so you could just zap a million of them with this, right? But against like green, you could name Elf or something, and that would work reasonably often. It's kind of a large removal, or multi-removal, a board clear of sorts. I assume it's pretty good, right? Witch's Vengeance. Yeah, it's rated fine. I mean, Glass Casket is also very good, though. Well, no, it's just fine. Okay. We'll take the Witch's Vengeance. It's black. My deck is mostly black. And it's a clear of multiple troublesome things. Another big black thing. Oh, this is bad, right? Oh, is it bad? Yeah, it's not good. Okay. Beloved Princess is just like an aggro card that you can play on curve, I guess. But it's also not good. Oh wait, what is this? It's a black adamant card. Yeah. We're going to be mostly black. This will work most of the time. Spectre's Shriek I do not want. It is just not a good card. Shining Armor? I don't know about that. I mean, we have like 4 creatures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 creatures, and 4 of them are knights. No, 3 of them are knights. So we definitely need more creatures, but right now I'm not being offered any good ones. I don't think I want a Ginger Brute. I didn't take anything that particularly synergizes with that, right? Yeah. So I think I will just sideboard the Shining Armor. It's not that great most of the time, but it might be playable. Hey, this is the card I was hoping for. The black-white Resolute Rider. Yeah, way better than anything else here. I can tell without even looking at anything else here. There's that unicorn that makes a knight, and it's like a creature. It's a 3 and a 5, which we don't have a lot of, really. Hello? My curve? Hello? I see a curve here. Now there's a curve. We're actually curving out pretty okay, now that I look at it. We have 6 creatures, huh? Oh, I see. Our 5s are the 2 Festive Funerals, sure. And our 3s are mostly not creatures. I'm a little worried about splashing white for True Love's Kiss, but we should be able to run like 4 or 5 planes. That should be enough. So there's this Swordmaster I think is better. Yeah. I don't have a lot of 2-drops, and I would like to have more, and this is a knight, and it does things based on having other knights, so sure. This card's fine, but I want to more be black and more have, well, I don't know. Yeah, I think I'll take this. I don't have a good reason. All that glitters. This has been insane every time it's been played against us, but I don't know if we have the deck for it. Right? Like, our number of enchantments and equipments is 0. We have a couple here that we could run if we wanted, but I don't. Like, Shining Armor I could put in, and then this would be like +2/+2. It's not amazing, right? Maybe just a Lonesome Unicorn? Tempting Witch, I'm not really a food deck, so just like a 3-mana 1/3 most of the time. It gives you the food, but that's not amazing. I think just give me like a largest creature that does something. Sure. Another Funeral? The other choice, I think, is a Beloved Princess, which is not that great. Am I, like, overdoing it with removal? I don't think so. I have Eye Collector, which mills myself, which is kind of nice. I don't think I have anything else that tries to do that. No. But, I don't know, my stuff is probably going to die sometimes, and yeah, I don't know. Give it a try, right? Beloved Princess is... I don't really have anything to activate her. She's just going to get in some chip damage early and then do nothing. This could turn the tides. I don't know. As they say, there's no such thing as too much removal. I don't know if people say that. Certainly they do, but I don't know if they mean it. Forever Young? Probably fine. Everything else, obviously bad. There was some card we looked at a while ago that was like... Oh yeah, that's right. The Nobleman, right? Synergizes with Sorcerer's Broom. Malevolent Noble or whatever, where you sack a creature to put a counter on it. And this lets you make more brooms out of those creatures, but it's obviously very expensive. I'd rather just have this. To, say, return a Resolute Rider to the deck, or whatever. A lot of Beloved Princesses. Just give me a Cauldron, though. No. Okay, more True Love's Kiss. Removal for other stuff. We're at 19 cards, so I'm going to be cutting some of this stuff, I assume. Robber of the Rich. We're obviously not taking this, I assume. If a defending player has more cards in hand than you... Okay. Exile the top card of their library. During any turn you attacked with a rogue, you may cast that card and you may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast that spell. Interesting. And has Reach and Haste. So it's very much an anti-control card, I guess. Because it wants opponent... It encourages opponent to spend their hand instead of hanging on to it. Interesting. Cauldron's Gift, still bad. Oh, Sir Conrad is great. And having a way to mill cards activates Festive Funerals. Oh man, but there's Resolute Rider as well. They're both so good. Fairy Guidemother is fine. But I don't know which is better, actually. They're both fine. Sir Conrad is listed on line 2948, and Resolute Rider is listed a bit later on 33, whatever. And this is even better because we're a mostly black card. And we have some stuff that interacts with our graveyard already. Yeah, give me this guy. I would love to like get them both, but that's obviously unrealistic. Someone is going to pick... There's like, you could argue, I'll take the Resolute Rider because maybe there's no one in this draft that's playing mono black, or that's playing black at all. But maybe there's someone who's playing mono white, and if we picked this guy would be gone, right? I think that's not realistic. They're both going to be gone by the next time we see this pack. And I think Sir Conrad is a better overall card, because he can win even if he can't get in for damage. Archon of Absolution. Flying, protection from white, they have to pay to attack. It's very much like an anti-aggro card. Glass Casket. I think Archon of Absolution is good, right? It's fine. We're not really in a first pick situation here, of course, so I should be adjusting my picks based on this stuff. But I think we'll be running enough white that I can play this, and so the question is, do I want it in my curve? I think it would be fine. Let's cut Hengewalker, by the way. Actually, let me look a little more carefully at my curve. How much of this is actually creatures that I can play? And how much is stuff I'd rather just get rid of? Like, I only have 3 2-drops right now. And honestly, the Youthful Knight is not that amazing. I might consider cutting him. Memory Theft is not really doing much. I do kind of enjoy all of my largest cards. True Love's Kisses are a little bit worrying. On 3, I only have 1 proactive card. But there's nothing here I can really take for 3 that I would want. I also didn't really get any Knight synergies at all. So I'm not that excited to like have... I mean, Smitten Swordmaster is fine. It is itself a Knight synergy, I guess, but not a very strong one. It's just like an okay card. I have to take the Archon of Absolution. I don't know if it's actually the best pick, but I think I have like kind of a lot of removal already. 3 Funerals, 2 True Love's Kisses, and Witch's Vengeance as well, and a Reeve Soul, and a Cauldron. I don't think I need a Glass Casket. Let's just take this Archon and see how it goes. Should be fun. I don't know if it's good, but I have to do it. Deathless Knight. We're splashing, I think, too much white for this, and also we don't have any life gain, or very little anyway. We have like 1 Resolute Rider, and this guy, 2 of these. So most of the time I just don't do much with this, sadly. There's that Malevolent Noble we were talking about. Do I dare to run a Witch's Cottage? How am I for colors at the moment? I have 14 black. So I could run, I think, like... If these were single whites, I would be happy running like 3 plains. Well, I don't know. That's a bit excessive. Maybe I could run like 5 plains to make sure I can actually play these. And there would be 12 swamps. So the question is, how often am I going to get this thing activated, and how good is it when it activates? I think it should activate reasonably often with 11 other swamps in the deck. And when it does activate, it should be pretty cool, I think. So I'll just take that. Ardenvale Paladin is a 4-drop, which is not really a slot I need a ton more of, and its Adamant ability won't work, so it's just a 4-mana 2/5. Seems kind of bad. Just take another Cauldron. I'm probably cutting some of these anyway, but they seem better than anything else. Righteousness. It is a cool card. There seem to be a lot of options, actually. Righteousness is very strong when it goes off, especially if you can put it on a lifelink creature. Let's cut the memory theft. Well, I could just take another proactive 2-drop, which would be pretty cool, right? How good is Hengewalker, really? It's probably okay. Just like a 3-mana 3/3 often enough to try to keep me alive. I could take another Eye Collector. I think that would also be fine. Sir Conrad appreciates those. So does Festive Funeral. And there's something else in here somewhere. I mean, Forever Young. Yeah, I guess those are the 3. There's something else we looked at but didn't end up picking that cares. I don't remember what it was. Oh, I guess the Witch's Cottage. Sure, that also sort of appreciates it a bit. I just gotta remember it's on top of your library, not into your hand. So don't put back something mediocre that you don't want to draw again. I don't know. Righteousness, like, often enough, it will remove a creature, right? I think I'll take a Righteousness. It removes a creature, which is, like, fine. And if you can ever play it on your lifelink guy, it also gains you a ton of life. Another Eye Collector is probably better than, say, a Cauldron. I just have so much removal. I want a bit more proactive stuff. A Unicorn? I could run that instead of Hengewalker. A 2/2 Vigilance is not as good as a 3/3, but it's also kind of fine. And the 3/3 is not that great, but you get to play this again as a 5-mana 3/3 later, right? So it's, yeah, let's get out of here. Oh, I guess technically this is a 5-mana card, right? I don't really want any of this. Prize Griffin, I guess, would be my top pick if I were going to have to take one. Festive Funeral number 4 seems a bit much. But I do have 2 Eye Collectors now. I mean, it's 5, I don't know, 5 mana to remove, like, a serious threat. Well, let's pick it and sideboard it. We can maybe run it, maybe not. I'm not sure. These all suck. More True Love's Kiss seems bad, but who knows? Another Hengewalker. We already cut one, but I'm not going to run this, so... That's a white card. There you go. Yeah, I know. So, how did we do? It gave us 8, 9, but I'd rather have like a little less white and a little more black, like 6, 10. Something like that. Oh, 6-11, I mean. Oh, well, it was 8-9 including the cottage. Yeah, maybe I can... Maybe I can afford to be 7-11. That was what I said I was going to do, I think. That way we should be able to cast True Love's Kiss on 4 reasonably often. But we don't often need to spend 2 white on a single turn, except on a True Love's Kiss turn. So we can afford to try to activate our Adamant and Witch's Cottage a bit more often. So the weak spot here is turn 3, right? That's what we have the least of. I could take like a Memory Theft, but I don't think that's good. And remember, this is actually a 3-drop as well. All right, let's take it out for a spin. Is it good? Who knows? Oh, Reeve Soul is my deck art, huh? No. We're gonna be a Resolute Rider deck. How about that? Away we go. I just realized I left my phone on the desk. I hope it wasn't like buzzing while we were recording. Because the mic tends to pick that up very aggressively. Is this a good deck? I don't think so. It could get a few wins, but it shouldn't go too far, I don't think. We don't really have many cards that can like win the game on their own. And we don't have a ton of tempo to win the game otherwise. But we do have a lot of removal, so maybe we just grind the opponent out and then eventually draw one of our big cards and then play it a few times, hopefully. So I wouldn't be surprised to go like 2 wins with this. Or worse. Okay, fine. I mean, this is not the greatest deck, but I have 3 lands. I have some removal. All I need is a plains to activate this. It's not ideal. There you go, the gingerbread thing is active though. Do I play Forever Young? I think I do. No sense waiting around for something to be in my graveyard. Well, I could wait and resoul something else. I don't have any other plays coming up, I guess. All right. Well, that's kind of interesting. Is it really worth destroying that? Like, it's not a good card, but everything having haste is kind of going to annoy me. I have a couple ways to fish cards back, so I can afford to spend this on a pretty shitty creature and then just put it back in my hand. This is only creatures, right? Yeah. But I do have the Forever Young. If I want this back, which I might. Nice draw. So, do I play the Witch's Cottage and then Forever Young? Well, this doesn't activate anything right now. That's stupid. Just play a white card. And then next turn I can play it for 5 if I want. By activating this. Reaper of Night. Oh no, you're gonna make me discard cards. I don't like that too much. I actually wish I could discard this just so I could bring it back with my swamp here. Ooh. Well, Forever Young sucks right now. What am I even doing? Well, it gives me back Reeve Soul. I'm actually going to hang on to Forever Young and get rid of all this removal. Good choice. The idea was to try to play this for a land, maybe? Oh, but that won't work if I'm... If I'm playing this to put back a Reeve Soul, which I kind of like, then I can't also play it for a land. So okay, we're just going to play Witch's Cottage without activating it, I guess. I was just hoping to get another land so I could play this, and then... but it still wouldn't be in the graveyard anyway. Okay. So we might as well just play it. Opponent has way more cards. That's a problem. We need to make life a bigger issue than cards, hopefully. Oh, let's hope they never get to 7 mana. I mean, we're on the road to making that happen. Oh, interesting. It didn't ask me if I wanted to pay Adamant because it was illegal not to. I don't have enough non-black mana to not activate the Adamant. Alright, that's a good card. For my opponent, not for me, obviously. Witch's Vengeance is not much of a thing right now. I have a spirit, a human, a unicorn, and a knight. So it wouldn't be like hitting my own stuff too much. But just like a 1/1 flyer might be all I need. Actually, this is lethal? No, opponent has food. But if I attack with everything, they have to let in at least 8 damage, right? That's if they block like this. And so then they have to spend the food, which is, like, fine. And then I can play this and threaten enough to kill them later. On the other hand, this is killing them next turn anyway, so why throw away any of my creatures? No, it's not. Because they have, like, 10 life, right? So I kind of need to get in at least 2 damage, and if I'm doing that, I might as well get in the rest. Oh, no, my pie! I didn't know it was a pie, but it turns out it was. I'm really unhappy about this, obviously. Opponent now has more food. Oh, look, it's a different token. How cool is that? So I not only lost that guy, I lost a 3/3. But we are threatening enough that opponent... Well, they're going to eat the food now, right? Yeah. I'm just hoping they don't draw a land ever again. Oof. Oof, 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 oof. Well, I don't know. Can they afford to play this? Oh, no! That's also horrible. Really? Yeah, I was going to say, that's a weird attack. Oh yeah, now I draw lands. I don't appreciate that. Well, these Reapers of Night have ruined my day. Also, my opening hand had sort of questionable value. But I'm now, like, highly dead, right? Opponent just plays a 4/5 and I can never do any damage ever again. Or they could start gaining lifelink. That's probably also fine. What am I looking for here? I guess like True Love's Kiss wouldn't be that bad. To get rid of this Prophet of the Peak. But actually, now that they have a 3/3, I still like would not be able to deal with it. This would be the time for Festive Funeral, by the way. But I don't have any left. I discarded all 3 of them too early. Yeah, we're getting killed now. One way or another. I don't know, I think I played it right. I threw away the removal I didn't need. I went aggressively in for damage as much as I could. But I just had to discard too many resources, these Reapers of Night. I don't know, maybe I should have picked one, but I wasn't that committed yet to black. I'm not sure like what exactly I'm hoping to draw, like why am I still playing it out? Okay. It does seem pretty hopeless. Yeah. Okay, there you go. Well, 4 planes in a row, that's gonna make it real rough. Was that all my planes, by the way? No, I had like 7, don't I? Yeah. Wait a minute, do I have way too many lands? Am I insane? I'm running 18 lands? Okay, that's one problem. We could put another Festive Funeral in. Or some Memory Theft. It's playable on 3. It gives me something to do that turn. We didn't draw any of our big killer creatures. We don't have that many of them, like 2 or 3. I just draw a lot. I drew a lot of the like utility stuff really early, and that was definitely bad. I don't know if it's something I should expect with the way the deck is built. Like, do I have too much of it? And is it even that bad to do so? Like, getting the Reeve Soul early was fine. But I didn't want the Forever Young and 4 Festive Funerals, right? Those are for much later in the game. Yeah, I still think 2 or fewer wins seems about right. Maybe 0 wins if I never get a match again. That would be kind of a bummer. There we go. Okay, it's not ideal. I'm gonna have to play this as a bad swamp instead of a good one, but that's fine. I have 3 mana. I have 1 of my good cards. I have a 3 mana play, 2 3 mana plays now. Just playing a 2/1. All right. Well, it turns out if I'd been greedy, maybe I could get Witch's Cottage to activate, but like on what? I guess on this. Do I play the Forever Young on 2? Just to draw? I think so. Well, no, I have Resolute Rider in hand. That's the kind of thing I might want back someday. Maybe that's super greed mode, but I'll take it. Green, black, white. Yeah, it turns out I could have been greedy with Witch's Cottage since I drew a bunch of swamps, but how was I to know? I think it was just important to make sure I had enough mana to curve out rather than hoping to draw like this. I'm not very happy with how my opponent is curving out because it means Memory Theft is not going to do much. I don't know. I guess they've played a bunch of lands and their cheap cards, so what they have left is something useful. But obviously on 4, I'd rather play the Resolute Rider. Ooh. Can I do anything about that? Yeah, I have Righteousness. So maybe I will keep the white mana open. And kill that thing on defense. No? Don't tap like that. Memory Theft or Outmuscle? I don't really want you removing a card from my hand. Get out of here. And this. Yeah. I guess I did sort of forget that they could just remove my thing that way. But it's fine. Now I still have the Righteousness, right? And I would love to be able... Okay, their last card is a forest. This is... What's in my graveyard? 1 card. Okay. This is a little scary, obviously. But I think I can get away with the Resolute Rider, right? And then start trying to gain life with it soon? Not yet. Right, I need the Righteousness to be able to use it to keep it alive. Okay. And then later, on future turns, I can use its own abilities, maybe, to keep it alive someday. No cards. Draw nothing useful. That's all I ask. Alright. It's a creature. It's slow. I can work with that. Giving this guy lifelink and indestructible might be the best thing I can do with my mana. Still only 2 cards in my graveyard, so these are pretty bad. Yeah, I hold this back to be able to give it both lifelink and indestructible. I'll take 2 damage, but heal 2 at the same time and live. But then, opponent can just do nothing, and my mana's all wasted. So what if I attack? I have a timeout. It's worth using here. What if I attack and actually gain the 4 life? Then I can spend 2 mana on developing something else. Okay, let's do that. Or is it, I get 3 mana actually, right? And I'll play this guy in both modes. Okay, opponent still doesn't seem to have anything important. I'm going to go ahead and lose this guy. It gains some life, and I don't know if it matters which way I block. If opponent's going to do something that puts counters on at instant speed, I think I'd rather they go here, but I'm not really sure. Anyway, this also gives me something for Forever Young to put back, perhaps. Also, my graveyard's a bit fuller. Bring back the Righteousness, maybe? Doesn't seem that important. Yikes, 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 yikes. I think I just need a 3/3 to be able to block these things. Then opponent gets in for 5, but I'm still not dead. And then I have enough mana that I can actually use this to threaten their 3/4. You know what? Maybe I should just lose the Resolute Rider so I can Forever Young it back, but then I won't have enough mana to activate its stuff, right? I think I just need to get rid of this 3/4. That's more important than any nonsense like this. Yeah. I would really love to top deck a land, by the way. Also, I could give this guy a nice funeral first, and then be stable for the moment. Oh, and then I have this that I could threaten to actually win with, that I could threaten to kill their last important creature. This isn't instant. I guess I should wait on it then, in case they... Yeah. Sure. I'm going to do this first so that if they react, I'll know. If they can respond, I'll know that they have done so, and we'll have better decisions about how to block. Okay. Well, that's a little scary. I wouldn't mind killing her with the Cauldron, perhaps. But I'm stable enough now to bring back the Resolute Rider and start gaining life with it, I think. Do I want to top deck this guy as well? That's actually an interesting thought. Let me think about that. I really want to make sure I draw this guy first, and I believe it will give me a choice. He would gain me like 2 life and then be a 2/1 lifelink, which could block this. I think I do want it back. Oh my god. Okay, I do get to pick the order. Top of deck, this one. Actually, is there a reason to wait? No. Yeah, I can't block that. Go ahead. I'm really glad opponent has finally stopped drawing cards that matter. I mean, I don't know. This beloved thing is kind of an issue, but I have an answer to it eventually. Only 4 things in my graveyard now. Alright, it's a 1/5 with reach. So I think I just swing with this. And if they try to block, then I give it indestructible. And in either case, I also give it lifelink. I think that's more important than developing anything else right now. Like, I could play this guy. Maybe that is useful. I should play both of these for, what, 4 mana? I guess if I attack, they're basically guaranteed to block with both of these. There's no harm in it to them, right? Which means I would have to activate both abilities for it to be any good. I could still play the Cauldron in that case, okay. Ah, and now they do have reason not to block like that, actually. No, then I would just lose this guy. That's stupid. Okay, let's go like this. I could actually maybe just spend Festive Funeral killing this guy. Get one problem out of my life. It would then be like a 0/2. Yeah. I don't gain the life, but that's one more issue I don't have to deal with anymore. One more threat opponent doesn't have. I guess I maybe should have been careful. What if they can buff this? Maybe it was more important to gain life. But now I can gain life without having to also become indestructible. They had the +2! Exactly the reason why I needed life on that. Oh, man. Yeah, I could have... I thought that through, but not in time. Another game that a better player would have won. I'm happy that I got as far as I did, honestly. I think I played that pretty well, even though I slipped up at the end. And it was a mistake. I should have made opponent prove, like, I don't know. Given... It was kind of greedy, right? What I was doing. If nothing was ever played by either player, I would eventually win the game. And I think I should have just tried to stay in that state for a little bit longer, gaining more life. Even though it means I can't develop anything, I didn't have anything that important to spend mana on. Fine. I hope to draw planes eventually, but this hand's alright. I have like a 2 and a 3 and some removal. And if I draw planes, I have another creature as well. Yeah, I mean, I kind of forgot that they could like buff a creature and it would still be unblockable. Makes sense, obviously, but I didn't really think about it. I'm happy to just delete that. It could become a problem eventually. I don't have many answers to flyers. Reeve Soul is kind of my cheapest one. Okay, that's fine. Oh, also, protection from white is insane. Ooh, what is this? Red-black. It's night equipment. Oh, or we have this. This thing's way better, right? Order of Midnight. It's a 2-mana 2/2 flyer that can't block. Gosh, these are all kind of scary. This thing... is obviously the biggest issue at the moment, but I do have like protection from white coming up eventually. It's a 3/3, is that right? A 3/2. I think Order of Midnight is kind of the scariest thing they have. It can also bring back that flyer. Yeah, get out of here. Obviously, Sir Alan is scary, but just like I have plans for that, hopefully. It's insane if you put the Lance on it, and if I didn't have Archon of Absolution, I think I would be getting rid of Sir Alan. But I do also have several, like, removal things. Eventually. Not at the moment. Okay, let's scry my way up to some planes, I guess. Okay, that should do just fine. And just play this for 1 life. I wonder if I should play this right away. Probably not, right? Because it's not, like, that important at the moment. Opponent doesn't really want to attack me. Really? Wow. They just have... I guess, yeah, sure, you have nothing else to do. You used up that ability, I guess. But anyway, I kind of want to draw out, like, a scarier spell. Like, I want them to be a little bit more committed to this thing before I show them that I have this cool counter card. I don't know. They get +1/+1. So this would be a 3/2, 2/4. This is all fine with me. Do I attack with this? No, they would just block, and nothing bad would happen. I was thinking it might be nice to pressure them before they get the chance to give everything +1/+1, but it doesn't actually apply any pressure. Interesting. I could exile this, but it seems like unnecessary. Let's just get down to 3/3 and continue no attacks. It's not really anything any of us can accomplish by attacking at the moment. The Jousting Dummy could trade for my 2/1, but that's not very good. Yeah. Opponent's waiting for Sir Alan. There it is. They don't have any red yet, so they can't play this. But I want to save True Love's Kiss for that, actually, because it can bounce around between a lot of creatures, which is pretty spooky. So this blocks Sir Alan, but if you attack with Sir Alan and something else, that other thing is stronger, and I have some issues with it, presumably. But I don't think there's anything you get great value attacking with. Maybe this is... No, I just 3/3 it, right? Yeah. Whew, everything, huh? we want to get rid of this guy. An opponent paid through the nose for this. Fine. We want to lose... Like, I could just kill the jousting dummy, but this might actually be more important. We block there. And I think my 2/3... Wasn't there something with only 2 attack? Oh, it's this guy, I see. We can just let all that in, I think. Oh, hang on. Let's not kill this. Let's not block like that. Let's block like this. I'll let in 4 damage to kill this guy. And then I'll block there instead. And I'll kill your jousting dummy, I guess. Yeah, I think I want to attack like that. I don't mind if the opponent chooses to attack with this, so just get in some damage. Obviously, True Love's Kiss is not doing much right now. It's nice to deal with their equipment if they ever do draw a mountain, but they might have... Obviously, you don't want to use it on food. So we'll just wait around until an opportunity presents itself. I think opponent probably should stop attacking now. At least if what's in their hand is all they have. Who knows what this other card might do. But I have easy blocks, and it just lets me get in more damage in return if they do. Okay. Fine. It's gonna start force feeding me poison apples. Sure. I don't really mind. Oh, what a card. What a card. We play it before combat so that Eye Collector can trigger. Whenever another creature dies or is put in graveyard, yeah. But this is all we can attack with. We could actually attack with the Archon, I guess, but that gives Sir Alan an attack, so I don't want to allow that. Okay. This Archon of Absolution is really the only thing holding my board together at the moment. Ooh. Okay, that's scary. Actually, maybe it's not that bad. I can block a 5/5 with this just as well as I can block a 4/4. Ooh, Forever Young. I'm never milling again. Well, I don't want to play it now, because I don't have anything important to get back. But I have protection from end of game mill outcomes. I could play it just to draw, I guess. But I kind of like this. I'm not in any like hurry to advance things at the moment. They seem to be going fine. Boy, opponents milled a lot of creatures that way. I've milled 0, and every time they have milled a creature. It's probably lucky for me. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to play Forever Young at the moment. I want to save it for when they remove one of my big dudes. The Archon or the Knight. Ooh, that's a little scary. But I think still not the end of the world. Also... oh, this isn't the one with Adamant, okay. Okay, I'll just block like this. Oh, why did it have Vigilant? Oh, this gave them Vigilant, right? Yeah, okay. And I'll trade my 3/3 Vigilant for your 5/4 Menace thing. That's fine. I know you have no combat tricks. Seems like a bad attack, in fact. You were that eager to kill my 3/3? And this will trigger the Knight a couple times as well. Oh, we both hit creatures. Okay, they're mad. That's fair. It's a pretty upsetting card. Alright, we finally got one. Remember, I predicted 2 or fewer wins, so we're right in the sweet spot here at 1 and 2. You know, when the deck does something, it's pretty cool, but sometimes it doesn't do anything. And even that game, it was not really a stomp. Like, I don't know, 2 creatures did almost everything that game. Memory Theft was actually insane. So I'm pretty happy with that. This is fine. I have plays for days. Just would like maybe to draw a swamp so I can activate this, but it's not urgent or anything. Probably prefer to not draw swamps, in fact, and just play this face down. Wow, that's some art. Okay, I mean, I don't know. Scalding Cauldron, I guess you could remove this if you felt that was important. Oh, 2 of them, huh? 3 of them! Wow, nice! Hello! Yeah, I think we play this face down just to make sure it activates quickly. I don't know. Let's attack first. I don't think it matters. Okay, so my creatures are not guaranteed to live for any long period of time. This is quite a board. Okay, red-white. Alright, you got me. There goes the Eye Collector. You 1-for-1'd it. That's fine. I'll play this. Actually, by the way, these things are pretty scary for my Archon of Absolution. I think I should wait until I can make it stick. And it's not entirely clear to me when I will get a chance to do that. Okay. It's a 1/3. I mean, I should probably re-soul, right? It's a tiny little creature that's in my way at the moment and could do some unpleasant things eventually. Sure. I could remove it with this, actually. That... What's more important? Killing... I think Scalding Cauldron is actually more flexible in a way. Because it can, like... Suppose opponent attacks me with a 5/5. I can block it for 2 and then use this. Whereas Re-Soul will only kill things with 3 or less power. Yeah, so I think I'll spend the Re-Soul. Plus, I might like Forever Young it or something. I don't know how I can actually make this stick, you know, looking at it. I just have to play more creatures. Oh, there's one. Huh. I mean, they can spend 6 mana to remove it, which I don't appreciate. So do I wait? I don't think that can be right, can it? Archon of Absolution is so good when opponent is white. I think I don't mind if they want to spend all their removal on this. And they can't even do it till a little while from now, so I get in some damage as well, which is nice. I think let's just go ahead and get rid of this and get in more damage. While I have the knight on board. See if they're willing to spend all 6 mana on removing this. Maybe they don't even have 6 mana. That would be pretty cool. They also might be scared that I could combat trick it after the first one goes off, I guess. Oh yeah, they can't do it. Nice. Alright, well we're at 2. And remember, one of those losses was only because I'm bad, so maybe the deck wasn't that bad. I don't know, it was pretty close. Me being better would have won, but also drawing a little worse would have lost anyway, so I don't know. And like I said, I'm still happy with how I played that game. Calling myself bad is a little unfair there. I didn't play perfectly, but I played, I think, fairly well. Just eventually stopped playing perfectly, and that was enough to lose. Alright, the deck is even. 2 and 2. Every time we draw Sir Conrad, we win, by the way. That's a conclusion you could draw. Or every time we draw Archon of Absolution, we win, whether we play it or not, which is a less useful conclusion. It's been kind of slow matchmaking, huh? You would think, like... I mean, I'm playing it, like... prime evening time in the western US, and people who are into Magic are probably playing at like 11 p.m. in the eastern US, so you would think I would get some matches. Maybe it's the time of the year. I don't know when you guys are watching this, but I'm recording it a couple days before Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving, so maybe everyone's like hanging out with their family instead of playing Magic for some reason. Pretty good hand, obviously. We have 4 lands and a playable 3/4/5 plus some removal. Like, I could not be happier, really. Look at that, a playable 2. Opponent's also black. And white. Okay. I mean, I'm just gonna go in and I assume they trade. That's fine. No. They figure this will become more useful eventually. Joke's on you, I have a 2-2 anyway. And later an Archon of Absolution, which I guess can't block you, so that's not that important. But it makes you pay for attacking, which is pretty cool. Ooh. Why do I keep playing swamps? I want another plains down. I don't know. Should I play the 4 or play another 3? I'm a little scared to commit this before I've seen some removal from them. Alright, now you're blocking. So you just like lost 2 life and gave me 2 life compared to blocking last turn. I'm glad it went that way. I think I just want to get some more little dudes out. I don't need the Archon right now. And I'm hopeful that they'll get a little bit pressured into spending their removal on some... Ooh, hello. Nice to meet you. Okay, that's fine. I can do the same. I mean, a different card. It's more expensive for me. Maybe I won't. I think it's more important to develop a unicorn first. Also, I don't know that this would work. They might have some combat trick. Oh, yeah. Can I say... Oh, what does cancel attacks do? I see. I'm in the attacker phase now. So it's just whether I want to pay 2 to do 4 damage. I don't think I do want to do that. Okay, I maybe could have removed... I forgot about this. It's fine, though. I'll just get out a unicorn. Uh-oh. That's a little scary. I can no longer remove it. Breed has overcome me. All right, well we'll just go in there for costs 3, I know, but right now I'm threatening more than you are. Oh my god. You're an extremely tall angel. And I don't have anything to do about it right now. I'm just like dead. This makes me a little sad. Ah! I could have killed it. I was worried they might have a flash combat trick, but actually, like, tall as a beanstalk is another issue that might, like, come up, and then I would be really sad that I didn't remove it when I could. I mean, I just don't have any plays, right? I just have to play the Cauldron and go face and die. And I only missed by 4. Even at this, it was pretty close. Yeah, good game. I'm upset. So the other like subtlety of Well, I don't know. Let's think back to the turn when I tried to click view battlefield, whatever. There wasn't anything that important there. The turn when I was considering giving that creature a funeral. Right, I had exactly 5 mana and 2 creatures in my graveyard, and it was a 3/2. So on paper, it would have worked. On the other hand, opponent had 3 mana untapped, and they could perhaps just play an instant that gives the creature like +1/+1 till end of turn. We saw that card does exist in white. I don't remember how much it cost, but that was how we lost the game with when we had Resolute Rider on the board and opponent had the Beloved Princess. So that was a thing that I was worried could happen. Something like that. Maybe not that specifically, but also maybe that specifically. And so one thing you could do is like wait until opponent's turn, just float all the mana and remove it later. That's kind of just worse because they have more untapped mana, but I guess you could hope they tap a bunch of stuff, and then in response, you remove their thing. But opponent had like 6 mana. They'd have to make a pretty large play for that to actually make them have less than 3, right? I don't know. Tall as a Beanstalk would have done it, but I think all the same instance still would have worked. The other thing you could do is you could look at opponent's board and say, you know what? I bet they want to eat that food this turn. And you pass, expecting them to, at the end of your turn, eat the food. And then when they do, you say, aha, I'm not actually done. I'm removing your thing. Actually, it's Festive Funeral, and it's an instant, right? I think so. Let's go look. Whatever, Dex. Yeah, it's an instant. So you could say, in response to you, say, casting tall or eating food, you could say, well, now you only have 1 mana, and the space of things you could counter with is smaller. And so Festive Funeral would be more likely to resolve in that case. But I don't really think it's super, super likely that they actually eat food at the end of your turn. They might, like, they're not in any serious life trouble, and they might have a deck that synergizes with gaining life. Were they running white-green or white-black-green? I don't remember. I think it was just white-green, though, so... You know, there's a few food synergies there, but they didn't have any of them yet. So I think it was not necessarily a great play for them to eat the food right away. It weakened them to some instant speed removal, perhaps. On the other hand, I guess if they didn't have anything that can deal with it, who cares, right? So I think it was probably... I still don't know what was best. But tapping myself out so that any buff card takes that from like minor annoyance to instantly win the game, I think was the wrong idea. I just like was not really thinking of what bad could happen if I wait to remove it. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe a better Magic player will weigh in on and tell me like what I should be worried about there. Because it's a scenario that I think comes up all the time in Magic when you're like, I want to remove something, but what if they can counter? Well, I could wait for them to tap, but like, what if they don't tap and then next turn they have more mana? And what if they then like might play something that would buff it? I don't know. So I think that was a tough one. I don't know if the play I made was wrong. It certainly didn't work out. I already don't even remember what I played instead. It was another 3/3. Yeah. I probably should have removed it and make them have the instant speed buff in order to stay alive. Also, I would get in some more damage if they don't have it. Yeah, I think it was just too greedy to try to get out another 3/3 and then remove it. I sort of allowed them to have 8 mana on a single turn by playing the Archon and then the Tall as a Beanstalk without reacting in between. Okay. I'm not sure it was wrong, but I think it was wrong. Anyway, As I said, someone better at Magic could tell me, I'm sure. Did I I already got my gems, right? No. How did I not get gems? Am I in the middle of this quick draft somehow? Claim prize. Oh, I see. I didn't click claim prize. Okay. Well, that'll do it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.